happy Saturday. Today is February 29th, and this is our semi-weekly campaign update. Normally I do these on Friday, but I chose not to do one yesterday because I was really mad most of yesterday, and I didn't think it was prudent for me to let all that anger out on a silly little video. I was mad because yesterday was the end of the challenge period since we refiled the petition, and as we expected, it's still disappointing, but we received yet another legal challenge to this petition by the same folks, plus some new ones, right? And so they're challenging basically the same thing. They challenged the gist again, even though we've rewritten it. It's almost twice as long. It's as good as you're going to get. Like, even the court couldn't agree on the best way to do it. We've written a great gist. And then they challenged the constitutionality again. In some ways, the exact same challenges they lodged the first time. Just trying it again, it is clear, like, these are entirely meritless challenges, and the only purpose in this is to slow us down, right? And so I've said this before, and you guys knew this was coming like we did. The only way that the politicians can stop us is by trying to slow the process down and keep us off the ballot in November, which is absurd, right? Like, they are fighting tooth and nail for the opportunity, the chance to gerrymander our maps and rig elections so that they can win one more time. Because even if we miss November, right, like, it'll get passed, and there's still a great chance we'll have an independent redistricting commission in place for 2031. However, I think it's really important we do this now. Now, we started this process back in October of last year, which would have given us almost a full year, which is way longer than most state questions need. And yet, here we are, right? So the way it's shaping up, and if you go, you can go look at the challenges, and we'll, I'm sure, share them. So far, it's only their side of the story, which is, of course, only half the story and also entirely incorrect. Here's how it's shaping up. On our side, we have the three of us that got together to file this. Me, Jan from the League of Women Voters, and a teacher friend in Tulsa named Linda. So you've got a teacher, a retired special ed teacher, and me, nonprofit guy, mental health counselor, like genuinely regular folks from Oklahoma. On the other side, you have now a politician's wife, a lobbyist's daughter, a huge donor to politicians. He's donated like $10,000 in the last few cycles, and then a guy that is that used to run a very large special interest group, right? And then there's one other person, and I haven't found out who he is yet. So far, he's nothing notable that I've easily Googled. But the fact that I guess the best straw man they could find is a politician's wife, a lobbyist's daughter, a huge donor, and someone else who's actually donated a bunch of money but runs a big special interest group. It's political insiders that are like doing this for politicians to keep them in power, because these are the folks that stand to lose, right? And that's what we said the whole time. The only people who that oppose an independent commission are the very few people who would lose power. It's the people who benefit from the current system of being able to gerrymander. And so I've got a whole list of current and former legislators that are supportive, current and former like party chairs from both sides, right? From both parties. I've got former Republican, party chairs, former legislators, statewide officials, everything from city council and mayor, school board, up to the upper ranks, lobbyists that are supportive of this. Now, many of them are afraid because the few folks that oppose us that are in power could make their life more difficult, and they're making our life more difficult, right? So we got to go through this and fight this again. Now, we're going to try to speed it up, right? Like, we're going to ask the court, who is a prudent court, and I expect that they will see through these petty political stunts that the politicians are pulling. That was a lot of P's. Petty political stunts that politicians are pulling. I trust that the state Supreme Court will see through that. They asked us to rewrite the gist, which we did. Everything else they said was fine, so we'll see if we can speed it up. But we need your help. We need your donations now. We got to pay for all this legal stuff again. If you'd go to peoplenotpoliticians.org, we would really appreciate any help you can give us. Thanks a lot. Have a great week.